Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Farlanders, Episode 7, Blackout. So in terms of this housing cluster, this mountain is in the way. So if I could demolish the mountain, that would be ideal. I can't afford the pattern for that, though. And then I also probably want to start thinking about where I want to put in bacterium to start growing mosses. I'm not going to think about that just yet, but that's on my mind to do that soon. I could put it anywhere, but ideally I want a lot of space for the mosses, and then I want it to be adjacent to where my current colonies are to be able to be awarded adjacency bonuses. So I'm just sort of thinking about that. Okay, how to use this pattern. So it has to be a mountain in the corner. So one of the things I'm thinking about is if my colony center ends here, I can start to put mosses in here, knowing that I can destroy I can destroy this like silicon factory. So that's I might put the pattern over in this corner here. Trying to improve the soils there for mosses. And I got a second factory. I'm also going to shut down this for a turn, because I don't have capacity for more glass. I did also buy the elevator, and I haven't used it, so next turn I'm gonna go underground. Ooh, I need more water. Well, it's not a lot of water. I can leave that in the negative for a bit. Oh, wow. So there's a huge mineral deposit down here. That's very, very useful. And I think what I'll do is stick a surveyor right there, because that's going to have most bang for the buck, filling in a lot of area. But that mineral deposit will allow me to have a factory for a long time. Not to worry about that. Might even be worth, at this point, honestly, just getting... Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to hit undo. I forgot that without a factory, I won't have pathing. So that factory is kind of mission critical. What will end up happening in 3 turns is that factory will eventually remove all of the minerals under it, and then that minerals will be replaced with tubing. But I obviously should not have done that. So let's put the tunnel back. The survey. And then start adding to the food. Because we're not breaking. We're not, don't have enough food. Oh boy. Awesome pattern. This pattern I can rotate here. If I was smart enough to do it. There we go. To add 3 fertile soil, which will solve our food problem for a very long time. So then the rest of the pattern here is to get around this lake to be farmable and then fill in that canyon. So I'm just looking at the patterns I have access to be able to fill that canyon in. That one's not terrible. It has me destroying this mountain and then filling in the canyon. That's okay. It's kind of expensive, though. And more inexpensively would be just to... Yeah, I'm going to buy that. Oh, I take that back. I think I'm going to want water next. I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fertile tiles, but I'm going to need water sooner than that. So I'm going to buy the TNT to blow this up to gain access to that water. That's going to be more urgent. And actually, I can buy both. I don't have immigrants coming next turn, so I can fill my my landing platforms. Water is good. Power is good. Food is good. Everything's good. The big plan now is to expand housing, and ideally to have it be nice places to live. So that more immigrants come in. So nicing. The nicest possible housing would be ideal. And then once we get our... Because we needed the pop up to 200 by ideally turn 80, and I think I'm on track for that. But before I hit the 200, because that objective will be completed, I wanted to start working on the side objectives, which means doing the whole bacterium. And this glass refinery is really a downer because it's kind of in the way. So if I could find an alternative source of silicon, that would be ideal. Or to make it, too. I could always make it. Yeah, I guess I'll drill. Drilling is really expensive because it requires a lot of terra tech and electronics. So you have to do it very judiciously. Otherwise it costs you an arm and a leg. Oh, making more water. So there it goes. There goes the factory. And I can destroy that without destroying the tunneling. This terraform pattern allows me to put more water in. And I'm trying to do the mental math if I have enough potential I think I have enough potential farming zones that I don't need to think about water in terms of more farming. So I'll put water in for just more pumping. Just adding to the pumping potential. Because I think this is enough farmland. That kind of sucks. Well, whatever. Drill, baby, drill with my last terror attack. Alright. So I'm nearly at all of the housing capacity. I'm at 158 out of the 200 required. So it'd be good if I started focusing on the moss very soon. So mosses require spices to be able to be grown, which is a special type of greenhouse, which means I'm going to need even more greenhouses so I can grow both spices and regular food. And then when you put the moss down, the moss gets development from nearby other mosses, grasses, or housing, or also the bacteria, the biostore housing, or bacteria nearby. So setting this area up for moss would be really good, which means terraforming the sand into soil to support moss growth would be great. So this pattern here allows me to put these two sand into soil. Yeah. So that's what I'll buy. And then I'm looking just to see if there's other... Yeah. Then I'll also buy this pattern too. That pattern will allow me to fertilize this and fill that in. Oh, what? Well, I got access to a really nice pattern here. This one's even better. This pattern, if mirrored, could fill in all these fertile tiles. So it's like really good moss zone. There we go. Yeah, good moves. So let's start making spices. In order to make spices, I need a greenhouse to be level 3, which I only have level 2 greenhouses, so they require more adjacency bonuses. So this greenhouse, one of these two greenhouses could be level 3s. If I... Oh, that's in shadow. Shoot. Alright, I gotta nuke that mountain. If I put a food silo in here, and for a food silo to go there, it needs to be ground, not sand. And I don't have the money for that, so that I should be able to afford next turn. Or alternatively, I could just ground stabilize it, which I might go ahead and do. Oh no, I don't have that tech. Never mind. I'll have to terraform. I could also aim for this one to be the level 3. I think that makes even more sense, actually. So for that, I'll set the greenhouse here. And this is a level 2, and then if I fill this canyon in, this greenhouse will become a level 3, and it will be able to start growing spices. So I need to fill in the canyon. I'm also at my pot max. I can't build any more housing right now without doing more terraforming. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. Oh no, that's not true. I can put one more here. So 185 is kind of my max right now. Not that I'm anywhere close to that. So for me to add some additional housing, I either need to improve the terrain or remove some wastelands or canyons. But But that's not that hard to do. You heard spice and thought it was Dune related? You know, it very well might be a reference to Dune, to be honest. Because the spice greenhouses are like really, really important. Alright, does this help me? So I bought this. And this is really good. Because that terraforms 3 out of 3 spots. Oh, but one of those spots isn't needed. Whatever. It's still pretty good use. Alright. So I really need a, I need this stabilized. I need this to become soil. And I can't afford any terraforming tech right now. So I'm hoping that after this turn, I'm offered some. Oh, and my survey found an electronics depot over here. I would need to dig to it, which is nearly impossible. I'll have to dig 3 tiles through and build a depot there. But that gives opportunity at least. So no complaints. Will I get the terraforming tech? Yes. I'll just buy the cheapest one. They're both cheap. I'll buy that one. And that will allow me to start to grow spice. It's Dune when we spot our first sandworm. Oh god. Alright, turning off the glass refinery because we're max glass. I probably should have done that last turn. I also could, because the terraforming tech I just got offered now allows me to generate a silicon deposit, and I probably should use it that way. Because I'm aiming to destroy this silicon deposit entirely, even if it still has deposits left, because I want to add mosses here. So where should I put... Okay, I will put silicon here. Nope, no I won't. I'm gonna undo that. That was dumb. That was very dumb. Because it's adjacent to a farm, and it's going to negate the farm if I do that. I could do it here, but it's not great, because I'll have to knock out two... Yeah, I could do it here. That's fine. That's reasonable. It's only 3 tunnels away from the farm. Okay. Time to get spice. So now, this is a level 3 greenhouse because it has a bunch of adjacency. In fact, I didn't even really need the food silo. The food silo kicked it to 7, but it only needed to be 6. And now we have a spice greenhouse. So spice greenhouse will give me a spices income, and the spices income will allow me to start putting mosses down. I am just going to get rid of the silicon deposit so I can get rid of all the tunneling. I'll move the silicon deposit from where it was to over here. So I still have some glass income, but I'm actually going to turn it off because I'm at max glass right now. So I don't need more. Alright, so let's start doing the mosses. Because I have almost all of the pop capacity, the living capacity I need to meet the final objective. But until I get a bio storehouse and start growing my own mosses, I'm not going to be able to do the other objectives. So I'm going to put a bio storehouse here, plug it in, tunnel it up. And this what it does is it provides life support for nearby bacterium. And then I'll put a bacteria, like, sort of like a petri dish there. We have life. It may be microscopic, but it's still alive. Our first major step towards self-sustainable colony, but we're only getting started. Next step is to develop the bacteria into moss. That's the classic macro enthusiasm, or Marco enthusiasm, I love to see. Just make sure you've researched the appropriate technology to grow moss, which I already have. So this thing needs some more adjacency to develop further. So I'll put another bacterium here. And one more here next turn once I can afford it. Because it requires more metals than I have access to. Actually, that's not true. I will destroy some unnecessary cabling I'm not using. And now, this is slowly developing, and after a few turns, after 5 turns, it will become moss. Okay, gotta fix my power and water. Water's done. And power. Well, I don't have the metals. So the terraforming sets that I'm really looking for are shovel sets, so that I can improve the housing. Oh, we have a new specialist. Obviously, I'm going to pick scientist. So the advantage of the scientist is it grants science and increases the selling price if you choose to sell science, but it also just gives you a new scientist. So there, unless you cannot pass up the opportunity to get one of the other specialists, a scientist is kind of an obvious choice. So after getting the scientist, I'm going to get the musician. It provides happiness and then gives extra happiness if I have a park. And one of the optional objectives of this scenario is to build a park. So I'm going to be getting a park anyway, so I might as well get a musician. It also gives me a huge, leveling up to a colony size of 150, gives me a huge lump sum of population. And then it also has unlocked, you know, some additional benefits like more terraforming storage. Oh, and just exactly what I asked for, shovels. This pattern gave me a bunch of shovels. Oh, wrong terrain, no. Okay, maybe I can use it somewhere else. Also wrong terrain. Oh my god. You're killing me, game. Okay, fine. Whatever, I'll use it like this. Or maybe I can use it over here. Nope. Oh no, I can't max it anywhere. Oh no, I can max it here. Okay, sweet. 3 houses just got improved. So that brings us up to 189, and as I improve the remaining houses there, they'll get even better. And then with the... So if you're wondering about a park is built on fertile soil. So I'm going to want fertile soil, like, ideally somewhere near where people live here. I could actually destroy this greenhouse and build a park there. So I'll go ahead and do that. So now we have a park. And the park requires high-capacity water lines. Luckily, one's not too far away. And then I'll move the area that the park serves to over those houses, which adds a huge bonus to morale, because I also have the musician, which gives me an extra bonus. The other thing I could do, this little green plus arrow, I can spend money to organize parties, depending on the facilities I have built. So if I had a spaceport, I could do a fine art expo. If I have a community center, I can do a carnival. And if I have a park, I can do a grand symphony. So for huge bonus to happiness, I can organize a grand symphony. which will dramatically increase immigration, which allows me to hit the goals of the scenario. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't have any immigrants coming in anytime soon. But like, if I want to have a sudden surge of immigration, that's a pretty useful thing to be able to turn on and off, to toggle, so that I have the opportunity to push a lot of people in. The other thing I have access to is luxury housing, yes, and entertainment facilities, yes. I also don't think it would be a bad idea to get rare metal extraction and commerce. So the statue tech is something I'm going to want to build here at the Silicon Deposit when I have the resources. Oh, and I should have spent some money buying terraforming. Oh well. Right, let's spend some money. I want to buy metals. And shovels. I like it. I also... No, hold up. Maybe not shovels. Is there cheap TNT? Yeah. Sort of. Alright, I'll buy this TNT. Because I want to get this farm up and running because I have a food deficit. And there will be good adjacency bonuses putting up the farm there. Ooh. Let's get the glass running again. Didn't realize I bottomed down on glass. Another thing I should have been doing, failed to do it, but it should have been doing, is putting more bacterium in, so that I get the mosses faster. Wow, the pattern that I just got offered is pretty good. There we go. That's pretty good. That pattern is going to allow me to do a lot. So let's get that statue going. Statue has a pretty significant morale bonus, and it doesn't really have any upkeep cost. The challenge of the statue, of course, is it has to be built on minerals, and I just happen to have a terraforming pattern I use to put minerals right in the center of this, like, town. But, that's why it's really difficult to use normally, because it's challenging to have minerals right in the middle of your, like, city center. Under usual circumstances. And I'm a little low on power. There's not really any good spots for wind. Oh, I could put wind here. That'd be okay. I have more money. Oh, I've got... Okay, no, I'm good. Trying to get the mosses quick, because my pop, I think, is going to grow real quick. Okay, so these now are becoming mosses, and the bacterium is now a level 4 moss, which allows me to put proper moss down, which then increases the adjacency bonus around it. So this is the first moss that I have. Looks like a healthy harvest of moss to me. Good work, Marco. You should know what's next. Developing the mosses into grass. The same principle as developing bacteria into moss applies here. Can't believe this whole colony will eventually be able to feed itself one day. It's the most rewarding part of the job. I'll leave you to it. Just make sure you've done the right research. I'll let you know how it goes. So then mosses turn into grasses and grasses into proper crops. You also get subsidies for the mosses and bacteria that you have. So I have a lot of mosses and bacteria developing right now, and they will develop over time. Okay, let's bring in all 20 people. They'll be tough to feed, but we're getting closer to that 200 goal for winning the scenario. I've also done the side objective of having a park. All right. What pattern to use? Maybe this pattern? This pattern will, if flipped, will let us clear some of the... Oh no, it doesn't quite fit. That's not bad. That affects 2 tiles. Yeah, I'll use it. Alright, our pot max now can go up to 210, which is high enough to win. So I don't have to worry about adding more houses. All I really need to worry about is food, water, and power. Water at this point, because I don't have access to any more lakes, is probably going to be condensers exclusively. Unless I get a terraforming pattern that allows me to make water. Given that I have almost 10 grand, that very well might be. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have patterns for water. That one will work, actually. The cheapest option. I can put that right here for water. Or maybe right here. Either or. I'll look at my options when it comes time. And then just keeping everyone fed. So that almost breaks me even for food. And if I got... So the food options I have left that are cheap to do, because there's the nuclear option of a water dispenser. A water dispenser will, as you can see with the little video that displays, for the cost of an insane amount of water, 40 water, it will dump a whole bunch of water around it and act like a water source. It's just really high upkeep. There's also the ground hydrator, which is less efficient, but does a single tile. But what would be ideal is if I just terraform this and that and that. So just some shovels. So if I could buy... no, that won't work. These shovel patterns kind of suck. So I'll just buy whatever they all have available to me. Interesting. I bought a water pattern, and they gave me another one. So I was originally considering putting the water here, and getting rid of the infrastructure, so that I have multiple adjacent water pumps, which I'm actually going to do. But the other pattern I got was also for water, which is just weird. But this water pattern, what I can do is I can plan on using it for farming instead. And truth be told, like right here is a pretty good spot for farms because it will be adjacent to the other farm I have got going. So it's not bad to put it here. Like that. Because now I have another greenhouse level 3, which makes extra food. So let's move the power. And these water lines I don't even need because they're they're redundant. And then use this mountain pattern to put another water pump there. I don't have the metals for the water pump, but there'll be good adjacency bonuses once I have that water pump in. Yeah. So what about this pattern? Right there. And this will be another... Oh no, this isn't level 3. This is only level 2. Still, it's a good amount of food. So I did this without really utilizing the underground. Because I didn't really need to go down here for resources. The resources down here become, without spoiling too much of the campaign, it becomes safer. Because later on in the campaign, you will have things that happen on the surface which drives you underground, like weather and storms. Again, I don't want to spoil too much. So the game eventually sort of forces you to do a lot more underground, which gets to be trickier and more strategic later on in gameplay. But for now, it's pretty safe to just stay on the surface, which is what I've been doing. So here, as you can see, there's a huge amount of bonus water. There's 10 bonus water as a result of all the adjacent pumps here. So that's another way to do it. If you can terraform all your water into big clusters, you get a lot more bang for your buck. Ooh, I have like nowhere to put my solar though. Let's start another field. And I have enough morale right now that all 20 people that want to immigrate will. So the next immigration wave, I should hit the 200. So all that's really left is to advance time for those bacterium to become mosses, which is going to happen, I think, this turn or next turn. Yep, there they go. So, moss, moss, moss. And these moss are actually have enough adjacency bonuses that they're leveling up again. But I've already gotten the side objective of 2 mosses. In fact, I have 4. And then as another added bonus, as you can see, these houses really like that there's greenery outside. So that's the huge driver of the greenery. And I think at this point, the mosses... Nope, I was wrong. I think they need to develop once more before they can stand on their own. So the bio storehouse should have stayed. Yeah. Oh, no, it requires for grasses, too. I was wrong about that. All right. There's an opportunity here to put a park in this community, which is what I'm going to do. I can add minerals through that terraforming. And people will like that a lot. Nice. Oh, it's a cat, too. Cute. So morale will be above 2, allowing me to do a big immigration wave. But next immigration wave, I only need a 10 to win. I only need to hit 200, so it's kind of not necessary to have a big wave anyway. But the more morale I have, the greater my my stipend. So I might as well have a big stipend. And I'm going to buy 2 terraforming forms to improve these houses down here for the most bang for my buck, trying to like min-max my income. The other thing I need to address is some of the resource shortages I have, but they're not too dire. So maybe I'll use these terraforming forms to increase my food instead. So one more shovel there. Make sure to pump in water at full blast. And add to my solar power. Looks good. Oh, I could also... There we go. So I'm in the green for everything now. As long as you're strategic, as you've seen, I'm at turn 63, and in 2 turns I will have the main objective completed. As long as you sort of plan out fairly well, it's not too hard to hit the goals. Just requires, you know, a decent amount of planning. Oh, wow. So this is the first wasteland pattern part that we've had, this waste dump. So like 2 waste dumps equals a canyon. Waste is usually a bad thing unless you want canyons. Waste underground, however, will form stalagmites, which can be useful. So the reason that's useful, I didn't get into it this time, but the reason that's useful is underground you can farm efficiently, but only on stalagmites, on this sort of like bedrock. And you can make bedrock by burning stalagmites, and you can make stalagmites by dumping waste. So it takes a bit of finagling, but you can design underground farms through waste dumps by dumping waste, burning the waste to create farmland. It's a little overly complex, which is why I generally try to do my farming on the surface, just because it's simply easier, but it's doable underground too. You know, in a pinch. Alright, for this pattern, I don't really care what's going to happen. I just want time to go, so here we are. Two turns I win. Just give me 10 people, not the full 20. Greetings, Marco. Victoria, what's up? I've been observing your horticultural progress on this mission. It appears you've researched a critical juncture. Per our conversation over text, I'd like to implement the superquark sample into our growth system. I've nearly stabilized it. I really don't know about that, Victoria. Leland shut us down when we tried to bring it up in the call anyway. But think of the implications, Marco. At worst, our sample is lost with little to no effect on the colony. At best, however, we could amplify food productions for the colony by over 9,000%, assuming my calculations are correct. That's an insane jump in production, and you're sure it's safe? Positive, we have nothing to fear. Alright, let's do it. In fact, I think I'll blog live about this. Prodigious. So, install a superquark dynamo module into a greenhouse is the last objective. What was that again? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I do have some extra research that I'm just gonna get. Unlock the full tree. Okay. And then the superquark dynamo. I'm blanking where it is. Maybe it's unlocked next turn. I'm going to assume that's the case. So let's use up these terraforming forms. Probably using them poorly because I'm just progressing the time. Oh, no, here it is. So, greenhouse. Here's a tier 4 greenhouse. Here we go. Here's the dynamo. Uh-oh. That was an unexpected outcome. Did a part of the colony just lose power? It appears so. However, it's hard to assess exactly how far the blackout reached, or its impact. Crap. I really hope we didn't just... Marco, what happened out there? Esther, I think you might have screwed things up. What's the situation? I can't explain now, but you need to call in the evac crew stat, sending you the coordinates. I'm on it. The evac's been called in. Is everything calming down? Not at all. The colony was without power for a pretty long time. And Marco, just a heads up, I don't think I've seen Leland so furious. Oh, great. Marco, It's okay. I'm sure it'll all be fine. Let's just wrap it up here. Damn it, Victoria! Well, that, my friends, is where I'm going to leave off on that cliffhanger. If you want to know how the story progresses, you're just going to have to play for yourself, I suppose. So, sorry about that. But I'm already 50 minutes over time. Thank you for watching Farlanders, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 5th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community, Rhadamant.com or the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I'll catch you in the next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Martians.